Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Today's beer we're going to wind up, this is the Back to the Filter. This is from Pariah Brewing. They sent me 3 and this is the 3rd one out of the package they sent me the last time. This is their Back to the Filter Double IPA. Not a huge beer, guys. This thing comes in at 7.70%. And I've told you this before, guys. They can call it whatever they want to call it. I really don't consider IPAs to be double IPAs till they get to 8% range, but they can call it whatever they want to. That's just my opinion. These guys are out in San Diego. Seem to be doing some really tasty stuff. I've got several beer mail packages from these guys. I want to thank Krista and Brian, the owners, brewers out there. Seem like they're doing some really tasty stuff, guys. You need to try them out. I don't know how far they distribute it, if they do, outside the brewery. So if you're in that area, go by the brewery. Say hi. Tell them I sent you. Like I said, this is the 3rd one out of the package, the last one that they sent me. And I haven't even popped the top, haven't tasted it, haven't had it before. This would be in the ABV range that I would probably purchase. It's above 7%. And I enjoy those styles of beers with that kind of alcohol and stuff in them. Not that say I only will buy, but most of the stuff that I do purchase for my go-to beers, or at least 7% and above, guys. I like that nice, creamy, thick mouthfeel body that those kinds of beers have. So, let's jump over to Untapped. They have it at 50 IBUs, which is still very low for a double IPA, guys. So they're doing these with a lot less bittering hops, evidently, where they're not going to blow your palate out of your mouth if you're just trying to get it into a single IPA or a double IPA. Now I've got double IPAs that are 120 IBUs, guys. I mean, that's more than double what this one is. So this one should be very smooth to drink. Shouldn't be way on the bitter side. So without even tasting it or opening it, this would probably be, I mean, if you've had an IPA and you want to jump into a double IPA, but you don't want 100 IBUs or more like a lot of those beers have, this will be a good one. I mean, I'm sure. And I'll confirm that here in a minute when I get it into the glass and get to taste it. So we have 7.7%, 50 IBUs. Commercial description on Untapped says West Coast Double IPA, brewed in collaboration with our good friends Brian Beagle and Pat McElhaney of Alpine Beer Company, loaded with Simcoe, Cryo, Enigma, Laurel, and Centennial hops. This new school meets old school double IPA is one of our favorites we've brewed. So we got the commercial description, and I'm sure this thing has a date on the bottom of it. And it says 6/13 of 18, June 13th. And today is the 10th of July, so we're not quite, almost a month in the can here, guys. So pretty damn fresh for something that's coming all the way across the country. And that is it. That's everything we need to talk about. So let's pop a top on this big 16-ounce can. Start pouring this. And they are calling it a West Coast style, not a New England style or anything like that. I don't know if it's a filtered or unfiltered beer. We're about to find out. While I pour this guy, it looks pretty clear coming out. While I pour this, food pairings, says cuisine is barbecue, cheese and pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, stronger cheeses, and the meat is game, grilled meat, and salmon. Glassware snifter, tulip oversized wine glass. And of course, Beer Advocate, since it's a double IPA, said you could cellar it. That's a filtered beer, guys. I'd pretty much bet I'd bet the farm on it if I had a farm. Very clear, guys. Very, very clear. Nice amber color, about a finger of head on that pour. A lot of bubbles streaming up. A very nice looking beer. Definitely a filtered beer as far as I can tell so far. Let's get it to the nose. Very nice. A little bit of pine and grapefruit. I've handled some citrusiness, but I will tell you this right off the bat. It doesn't have the off-the-chain hop aroma that a lot of unfiltered beers or New England style beers have. Smells decent, but it doesn't have that off-the-chain hop aroma. Well, let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Krista and Brian. I do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. A little bit of grapefruit in there. Very smooth, guys. For a double IPA, like I said, 50 IBUs, way, way low for a typical double IPA. Very nice. Very much agree with it being called a West Coast. So let's see if we get any kind of cloudiness from the back end. Doesn't look like it. So we didn't have a whole lot of settling going on in the beer. Definitely increase, when I do that back end pour straight down the center, it definitely increases the head usually. Good looking beer. Good tasting beer. Like I said, to be honest, straight up on this, I don't think it's outstanding. It's a pretty good example of a low IBU West Coast style double IPA. So let me sip on this. It's right out of the fridge. Let her taste it, and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this for a while, 45 minutes or so. Very nice example of a West Coast style beer. Now that the juice bombs are out and running wild, New England style beers that's being done all over the country. These West Coast styles seem to be a notch below those beers, guys. So I'm going to try to grade this on what it is. Not that it's blowing my hair back on my socks off like the New England style beers do now, but grading on for what it is. I mean, it's a West Coast style. It tells you that it's a filtered beer. A lot of nice juicy hop notes to it, but they're not off the chain, because West Coast style IPAs and double IPAs aren't off the chain. They have a nice hop presence, but nothing like what the New England style beers have got. So I'm going to try to grade it on that curve that we're not getting the off the chain hop aroma and taste and flavors that the New England style beers do. So for a West Coast style beer, I think it's very, very nice. Now let's warm up to room temperature. A little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of pine, nice citrusy notes. Decent beer, very low IBU beer, very smooth and easy drinking. Like I said earlier, a great beer, transitional beer, if you will, to get into the double IPA category without having 100 plus IBUs, which leads to a lot of bitterness usually. So this one's fairly easy to drink for a double IPA, guys. That's where I'm going to leave it. Final chug. very smooth, super smooth to drink. Once again, I'm going to say thanks to Krista and Brian, the owners, brewers, there at Pariah Brewing. You're doing some tasty stuff, guys. Very impressive. If you do a New England style, send me one of those. Let me try that, because that seems to be the fad now, 2017, 2018, for that style of beer. And it too may fade over time. I don't know. But I do enjoy those styles of beer. So they seem to have an off-the-chain aroma and flavor. So for what it is, guys, West Coast style, very, very tasty. A- again for me. Seemed like all three beers that I got from them were A- beers. Once again, 92 for me on this one. Definitely an A beer, guys. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.07 in exceptional range. Would not argue with that one iota. A very tasty, low IBU beer. Very easy to drink, very sessionable for that big of a beer. And our final check-in for Untapped, we're going to run over there, and they say 3.96. As far as I'm concerned, guys, that's in their A category, A- category also. So basically, it's unanimous. It's A- from everybody. So if you've had this one, the Back to the Filter from Pariah Brewing, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.